I found this very, very interesting. The fact that Forbes was tackling the topic of Incelasaurases. Let's get into this one. From Forbes, y'all know that it must be impact. These lonely people must be impacting money if Forbes is taking this on. Okay, a psychologist explains how an incel navigates the dating world. Incels, short for involuntary celibates, refer to an online community of predominantly heterosexual men frustrated by their inability to secure romantic or sexual relationships. The misogyny, hate speech, and violence perpetuated by certain incel forums is alarming, primarily driven by a hatred and distrust of women and a sense of feeling victimized by the feminist movement. Understanding the psychological underpinnings of an incel's approach to dating is essential in fostering change in their lives and minimizing potential impacts on others. So this is the reason or why Incelasaurus move the way they do. They rely on an external locus of control. A 2023 study found that in assigning a cause to their singlehood, Incelasaurus display a greater external locus of control, which refers to attributing life events and outcomes of one's action to external factors and perceiving their lives as being largely governed by forces outside of their control. They have no power, is basically what that just says. They have no power to control their lives, so they're assessing blame to somebody else or some bigger feature. The researchers suggest that such external attribution may stem from social comparison, as incels often perceive themselves as having lower value and romantic or sexual partners than other men. The study found that incels further place excessive importance on physical attractiveness and financial prospects to attract women and underestimate their preferences for the qualities of intelligence, kindness, and humor. Incels' inaccurate perception of what women desire in partnerships leads to blaming women as well as other men for their lack of romantic success. So they are placing higher value on their money and their looks, and they are not paying attention when women talk about intelligence, emotional intelligence, kindness, humor, and all that stuff. They don't listen. That's their problem. Additionally, the rise of dating apps has intensified incels' dissatisfaction. According to a 2021 study, incels believe that women on dating apps prefer men of higher social status or superior educational backgrounds over them, while incels personally have lower levels of education and employment. Incels also believe that highly desirable men branded by the community as Chads or alpha males are winners of the genetic lottery for attractiveness due to which a majority of women gravitate towards them, reducing others' chances for a match. Finally, incels believe that subordinate men, often referred to as betas or simps, make women believe they are more desirable than they actually are, so that they will choose them. Incels believe themselves to be at the bottom of this three-tier hierarchy of desirability. So basically, these dudes are insecure. That's what number one is basically telling me. Number two, incels create a distorted self-perception. Incels believe themselves to be less attractive and romantically undesirable, and facing rejection on dating apps amplifies this belief. A 2023 study published in the Journal of Sex Research examined online dating experiences of incels and non-incels, finding significant mental health differences between them. Incels scored higher than their counterparts on the following dimension: depressive symptoms. Incel men were more likely to have severe depression and anxiety, likely exacerbated by their higher levels of loneliness, lack of social support and solitary, unhealthy coping mechanisms. Rejection sensitivity. The self-identity of an incel is rooted in romantic rejection. The researchers found that they also experience high levels of rejection sensitivity. So basically, they are probably being rejected because they are depressed with high anxiety. So they should probably get that looked into versus going into online chats and hammering women and feminism. Okay, rejection sensitivity, which refers to an individual's heightened and often anxious response to the perceived possibility of rejection or social exclusion. The study found that incels also reported a greater fear of being single. This creates a tendency to react strongly to situations that may involve social judgment, like dating often does. It seems that in rejecting themselves and believing they will not be good enough for potential partners. Incels believe everyone else will agree. This may contribute to hostile behavior, and it seems to make a cyclical, a circle pattern where it just comes back to them making these judgments about themselves and then making them come true. Like I said, this article is in Forbes. I gave the highlights, but the conclusion: the psychology of incels reveals a complex interplay of distorted self-perception, external locus of control, and misperceptions of non-incel dating behaviors. Navigating these issues requires a nuanced approach that challenges their beliefs, promotes self-awareness, addresses their mental health concerns. Yes, please do that, and encourages healthier attitudes towards themselves, dating, and relationships. And like I said at the beginning, the fact that this is even in Forbes tells me that there are bigger issues at play that need to be established. And we know this because this crisis of lonely men is messing with the economy. Yes, it's messing with the economy. You could tell in the way that they are consistently going on and on and on about the birth rate decline. The birth rate is declining and it will keep declining because these people are like, who wants to pair up with people like this? They are really going to jack up the economy because they're going to continue to be lonely and women will continue to coalesce amongst themselves. All right, you guys go ahead, jump in the comments and let me know what you think about this one.